In this video I'm going to show you how you can add sample results to an asbestos survey report. So when you're on site, you'll take samples of suspected asbestos and also cross-references to those samples as well. Then after the survey, you'll send those samples off to a lab to be analysed. And when you get the results back, you'll need to tell Flow what those results were so it can properly generate the survey report and show which areas had asbestos and which ones didn't. So there are essentially two parts to this process. The first part is you'll want to import the bulk certificate sent from the lab, which is normally sent as a PDF file. The second part is you'll need to manually key in the results shown on the bulk certificate so that Flow knows which items were positively identified and which ones were negatively identified. So let's start by looking at the first point I mentioned, importing the bulk certificate sent from the lab. Now this is really straightforward. All you need to do is navigate to the attachments section shown on the report, which I'll do now. Expand this out and then use the Import PDF button. Now we have a separate video on importing PDFs, so please go check that out. But basically what will happen is you'll select the bulk certificate from your computer as a PDF and Flow will transform that into individual images that get embedded within your report. So I'm going to go on to the next thing, which is adding the sample results manually. Now, before I do that, I just want to dive over to the report to show you the kind of warnings you're going to get at this point if you haven't added any sample results. So I've got the report open in a separate tab. I'll switch over to that now. So you can see we've got some errors shown on this report. And that's because we took 5 samples during our survey, but we haven't yet added any results. So what we do in this case is we default to 𝘃𝗂𝗽𝗲𝗍 to give these results the highest possible material scoring. And that's just in case you accidentally issue the report to your client. We're not issuing a report with false negatives. We're kind of assuming the worst, if that makes sense. Now these warnings will disappear as you add the sample results and the rest of the report will get rescored appropriately. So let's dive back over to the dashboard and we'll start adding some sample results and see what happens. So first of all, let's add a sample result for sample 01. To do that, go into the sample results section, add a new item, and we need to pop in the sample ID. So I'm going to put 01. Just be careful that this exactly matches up with what's shown on the inspection records. And for this one, I'm going to say NADIS, which means no asbestos detected in sample. So we're saying that this one was fine, it wasn't a hazard. If I switch back over to the report, you'll see that that warning for sample result 1 has now disappeared. So you just keep adding the sample results in this way until all of the warnings disappear and all of the samples have been accounted for. And then you probably want to give it a quick check over, just compare the bulk sample test certificate to what's shown on your sample results section and just make sure everything matches up. So that's how you add sample results for an asbestos survey report.